Nor I asked for these tariffs. In fact, I was surprised when they were announced. Tesla competes quite well in the market in China with no tariffs and no differential support. In general, I'm in favor of no tariffs. I'm also actually in favor of no tax incentives for EVs, but provided that there are also the tax incentives for oil and gas must also be eliminated. So I'm in favor of no tariffs and no incentives for electric vehicles or for oil and gas. And if they're all taken away, I think that would be for the best.
Amid the rising tensions between the US and China, with the recent 100% US tariffs on Chinese-made EVs and China firing back by signaling that it's ready to unleash tariffs as high as 25% on imported cars with large engines, Tesla is still crushing the EV game in China, revealing record-breaking delivery numbers in Beijing. Could this be the beginning of a massive recovery for Tesla in China? That's the question we'll try to answer in today's video. But that's not everything, because we'll also talk about a new interview that a former Tesla board member did, in which he shared his positive outlook for the company's future in both China and the US. But first, if you want to keep up with Tesla's latest updates and keep up with the stock market's latest news, you can follow our Twitter account. We post multiple times daily about the biggest changes and catalysts in the market, so click the follow button if you do not want to miss the newest market updates. Now, back to the video.
Here's the latest. Elon Musk criticizing the recent tariffs announced by the Biden administration on China's Chinese-made EVs. Musk saying he favors no tax incentives for EVs, while avoiding a question on whether Tesla would bring a cheaper model to the public. Bloomberg's Craig Trudell joining us now. So, Craig, riddle me this. On one hand, what people say in public feels a little bit different than what they might say in private. How difficult is it for not just the Elon Musks of the world, but the BMWs and the Mercedes of the world as they face off with a Chinese threat?
I think it is. It's a great question because BYD has proven extremely competitive, and it's not just me saying that. I mean, Elon Musk was saying that and has repeatedly said that. Quite recently, I think in January he was asked about just how tough the Chinese are, and he said that he thinks that they will have significant success outside of China, depending on what kind of tariffs or trade barriers are put up. And so, while he said yesterday that he was surprised by this, I don't know that I necessarily believe him in that. This has been well telegraphed, and he himself has referred to this idea that if trade barriers are not established, that they will really give the likes of BMW and Tesla a real challenge.
Tesla's most fierce rival, BYD, doesn't operate in America, and it's very unlikely for the Chinese company to pursue the American market thanks to the extremely high tariffs, which means that Tesla can only double down on its efforts to beat BYD in China. In fact, it was reported recently that Tesla's Crab Island Beijing delivery center had its largest delivery volume in a single day, according to a local outlet called Geeklay. Additionally, a video was shared on X that shows dozens of Tesla's vehicles in just one of the rooms, with several customers walking around the building and waiting to pick up their cars. While the report didn't state how many deliveries the facility had, the news does follow a recent uptick of sales in the Chinese market. According to registration data, Tesla had 13,800 new registrations in China during the week of May 13th to May 19th, which was up about 41% from the roughly 9,800 the week before that. This doesn't come off as a surprise, as Tesla has been putting a lot of effort into attracting customers in China. In fact, last week, Tesla launched free supercharging perks for those who order vehicles by June 20th, just days after debuting a promotion offering zero interest or zero down payments on Model 3 and Y orders by June 30th. Now, while Tesla sold roughly 163,841 vehicles domestically in China from January to April, BYD sold 434,579 electric cars through the first 4 months of this year. However, Tesla investors shouldn't be too worried about the difference in the numbers, since BYD is a domestic automaker and Tesla is the foreign one. Additionally, BYD makes hybrid cars, which make up the majority of its clean car sales, while Tesla is a pure EV company. In fact, when you compare just the EV numbers, you'd see that Tesla actually sold more EVs than BYD in Q1. So, given Tesla's magnificent numbers as a foreign player, there's a huge potential for Tesla to grow even more in the Chinese market. And just like how Tesla is competing with Chinese EV makers in China, its upcoming autonomous driving vehicle, the robotaxi, is going head-to-head with Google's Waymo in the US. So, let's find out from Steve Wesley, Managing Director of the Wesley Group and former Tesla board member, whether regulations will welcome Tesla's robotaxi with open arms or not. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Investocracy.
But also with autonomous driving, a lot is about regulation, isn't it, Steve? Can you use these vehicles on the road? So it's all well and good Musk coming out with an autonomous vehicle, but can you use it?
In fact, you can. And Waymo, part of Google, another one of the Magnificent Seven, you can go to San Francisco tonight, or Los Angeles, or Phoenix, or Austin, and get in a autonomous vehicle with no driver today. And what's happening is Waymo has made a bet. They're going to start in a few cities, prove they can do it. They already have regulatory approval. Elon has a different bet. He's saying, I'm going to flow self-driving capability to everybody. We're going to make a few mistakes along the way, a few dangerous boo-boos, but we're going to take that data, recycle it, and it's going to give us an edge. We'll see how close he is to that 99.999 you need for full regulatory approval, but don't bet against the guy who's got a pretty good track record.
I agree with Wesley's words that we shouldn't bet against Elon, as he has a proven track record of achieving his goals for Tesla and what many people thought was impossible. Additionally, we can say that Waymo is way behind in the autonomous driving race. This is because in a competition between Waymo and FSD's older version 12.36, Tesla's FSD had no disengagements and completed the drive 2 minutes ahead of the Waymo because of superior route planning. Also, given the new updates of FSD 12.4 and FSD 12.5 coming in June, which are way better than FSD 12.3, Tesla will certainly achieve the terms required for its autonomous driving vehicles to be regulated in many states inside the US. In fact, the company is doubling down on the AI game with recent job openings, requiring software engineers in AI, robotics, and autopilot. So, with these efforts, it is certain that Elon will reach his goals by August and will be ready to go public with the long-awaited robotaxi. With that being said, many investors are questioning Elon's ability to achieve his goals and think that he's distracted with his other businesses, including his social media platform X, and former board member, Wesley, sort of agrees, so let's hear his take on this. But first, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
Just one more for me, Steve. How big a liability is Elon Musk right now to Tesla when you look at the firings, the pay saga, the stuff he says on X?
Well, that's up for the board to decide, and I'm glad I'm not on it anymore. But here's the real answer. For any CEO of any of the top companies in the world, you need to be laser focused on what you're doing. And it appears now that Mr. Musk's focus is in too many areas. If you look at people like Jensen Huang, who is arguably the greatest CEO in the world right now, continuing to bang out superior results, focus is the key. Tesla can use more of it.
Well, my take on this is that Elon runs 4 companies and one of them is X, and what he is doing on X could be one of the means to promote the platform and attract attention to it. People need to consider that his posts on X are part of his job as a CEO of the platform who pays attention to it, as well as the other companies he is running. And of course, people paying attention to X and Elon could translate into them paying attention to Tesla, which is great for all of Elon's companies. All in all, former Tesla board member Steve Wesley remains optimistic about Tesla's future prospects in both China and the US, even with regulatory challenges ahead for autonomous driving technology. And while some wonder if Elon Musk is distracted by X, Elon has proven capable of running multiple major companies simultaneously and doing it successfully too. As long as Tesla can continue ramping up production and deliveries, roll out full self-driving capabilities, and execute well in the Chinese market, the company looks poised for further success, and there's no need for doubters to go down on Elon, because with Elon's ambition and track record, Tesla still has bright prospects in the years ahead. But what do you think about Tesla stock? And what are your expectations for Tesla stock? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to tell us what your valuation for Tesla is. If you would like to know more about the latest updates about companies like Tesla, then go ahead and click on the next video on your screen.